Hello, Crystal Palace, and welcome to Upper Norwood Library Hub's Library Lunch. We had technical problems yesterday because we have built a new studio in the library. I have cables everywhere still, so the lights are off, and you can see my little lights behind me. We're just keeping it dark and to the point. That's what we're doing. But the internet's working. We've got our guest. We're not going to lose today. And moving forward, hopefully everything will come up Millhouse. Oh yeah. Today we have a lovely lady from the West End, Francesca Ellis. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Happy to be here. Hi, hello.
So for all the folks at home that maybe don't know who you are you and what do you do?
Let me just think who I am. My name is Francesca Ellis, and I'm a musical theatre actress. I think that's the best way to describe myself. I often say an actress who can sing, but it gets kind of complicated. So I'm going to say I'm a musical theatre actress who has been working professionally for around about 26 years now. So that'll give you a clue to how old I am. Or maybe not, who knows? Yes,
so I've
been working professionally for 26 years. I have done some West End shows, I've done some touring shows, I've done some straight plays, I've done a very small amount of television. But yeah, that is basically what I do.
So I am imagining you have fallen foul of all the stuff that's been going on recently. Recent events. I can't imagine you've got away from that. So
no.
Everyone's got a story. What's yours?
My story is I landed a fantastic job, and actually it's a very, very well-known show, Phantom of the Opera. And to be honest with you, it was never a show that I ever thought that I was right for, certainly not as a young actress. And I seem to have grown into the show. That there's one role that I could play, and I was very, very fortunate to have won the role last August, not the August just gone, the August before. And it was a fantastic opportunity for me. I started the job around about, I think it was late January this year. And by March, we were kind of getting ready to do the show one night. I was in Leicester with the show. We'd literally just opened. And obviously the pandemic had become so in your face by that time. And the government were making announcements about any public kind of performances or public gatherings were going to have to stop. So we were sent away with no knowledge of what was going to happen with the job. Nobody had an idea because obviously, certainly within the last, God knows how long, hundreds of years, we've not had a pandemic to deal with. So we didn't know how to deal with it. We didn't know what was happening. Nobody knew. So I was back in London, and a few months down the line, unfortunately, we got the very, very sad news that unfortunately the tour was not going to carry on, which was very heartbreaking. It's still heartbreaking, but it was obviously more heartbreaking at the time. So I lost this amazing job, and yes, so just dealing with the aftermath of that and what's happening within the industry in general has been pretty tough. I'm not going to lie, but yeah, sadly that's where I was at when the whole thing kind of exploded.
Oh, well, see, everyone's got their story. It's fine. It's fine. We've got a comment from the floor from Gaynell, who has joined us. And there's 4 other people there as well. So Gaynell says, ooh, loves musicals, loves Phantom,
Yay.
But Sunset is my all-time favourite. Do you know what Sunset
What was that, sorry?
Sunset is her all-time favourite.
I love Sunset, and here's a story. What was the name again?
Gaynell.
Of your Gaynell. Hi, Gaynell. I don't know whether you've seen the show Sunset, but I actually saw the show, the very first cast. I was still at college studying, so I saw the original production in the West End when it was very, very lavish, and a lot of money was spent on. I think I read something the other day that the set weighed something like 10 tons. It was the most incredibly lavish production. And I saw the original. And then I had a friend who was in it, I think a couple of years after that. I think it was in the West End for a couple of years. Yes, so it's a fantastic show. Love it. Wish it would come back, actually.
Is Sunset the full name of it? I've never heard of this.
It's called Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
And there was a black and white film years and years and years ago, and it's about a fading silent movie star who kind of still sort of she's older, and she still lives in this kind of mindset that she's still this incredible star, so she can't let herself kind of forget that stardom in a way, and she falls in love with a journalist. And anyway, the rest, I would advise you watch the film, because it is a phenomenal film, and the musical is a great representation of the black and white film.
Amazing. There you go. There's one for everybody's what do you call it? It's not TiVo, it's not Netflix, whatever your programming choices.
It's a vintage film. You got to get on your iTunes and download it and enjoy, because it's quite an iconic film, actually.
Oh, that's amazing. So we're having a right old conversation here with Gaynell, actually. She's also said it's so sad about the tour won't continue. It's such hard times for actors and performers. Sad, cry face. And then she says, oh, that's amazing. Yes, I think we're talking about Sunset here. I saw it many times back in the 90s, and again when it came back a few years ago.
Oh, fantastic. So it came back with a wonderful actress, and gosh, for the life of me, her name's just slipped my mind. Maybe you can remind me, Gaynell. She's a phenomenal actress, Welsh actress, who basically understudied. She originated the role in the workshops with Andrew Lloyd Webber and everybody, all the creatives, and then she understudied Glen Close. There was a kind of a concert version, wasn't there, in London at the Coliseum. And she had to go on because Glen Close wasn't very well. And the audience were in uproar, and they just thought that they were going to get some substandard performance. And by the end of it, they were on their feet screaming and shouting and standing ovation. Was that the production that Gaynell saw? Was it the Glen Close one, or was it?
Well, you see, they're 30 seconds behind us, so we'll have to wait.
We'll have to wait. That's okay.
We'll have to wait and see.
No worries.
Amazing. I think someone might... Yeah, our studio's not fully set up yet, so I think people keep on walking into our corridor, but that's okay. We'll deal with that. The lights come on. Woo! Scary monsters behind me. Anyway, so while we're waiting for Gaynell to come back on that question, so you finished with Phantom. And unlike some people have not done anything, and unlike that, you have been busy as a bee. I have. I'm naturally a creative person. I always have been. In other ways, aside from performing and being an actress, I love to create. I'm always thinking of new things to make, and I love to create lots of artwork things. And recently, I'm actually a face painter on the side, but unfortunately, because of COVID, it's not a great idea to be touching people's faces. I mean, it's all about touching people's faces, face painting, hence the name. So, of course, because that's kind of gone down the drain, I've been creating some other fun things. So I've opened a little Etsy shop, and I've been having a lot of fun designing things. It's called Divaland Designs, if anybody wants to have a look. And I've been making some Christmas. Shall I show the Christmas decorations? Yes, absolutely.
Shall I do that now?
Yeah, do it.
So I never knew that I could actually create this kind of thing on wood. I've never painted on wood or any kind of other medium but paper, really, or canvas. So I'm creating these Christmas decorations, which are painted on wooden reindeer templates. And I'm having a lot of fun with glitter. And this one's David Bowie, as you can see. You could wear it as an earring, or you could hang it on your tree. Mm-hmm. And I've also got, shall I show you some more?
Yeah, just go for it.
So here's RuPaul.
Oh, lovely.
So we've got some embellishment going on there.
If you just put it more, if you just
move it, Galina?
Move it more into the center of there you go. There you go. That's better. I can see it now. Yep.
There we go. Can we see the bling?
Yeah. It's like a RuPaul. It's like a RuPaul deer unicorn.
Yeah, it is actually kind of unicorns are really in. As I've noticed from face painting, it's not just children that love unicorns. So I kind of thought, I'm going to give RuPaul a bit of a unicorn makeover. And this one is Frida. It's amazing what you can get in Poundland, by the way. All of these accessories here.
Don't let your distributors' names get out.
Oh no, I shouldn't. No. Well, anyway, that's what I've been doing. I've been keeping really busy and designing lots of things, and that's a really amazing thing. There's lots of negative about the COVID, but as I'm discovering, lots of my friends in the theatre industry and the entertainment industry are naturally creative people. So there are lots of people that are coming out of the woodwork with their artistic skills, and it's wonderful to see. So for me, I feel that despite the fact that we can't perform and we can't sing and there's all these restrictions at the moment, there are lots of really beautiful things happening outside of our industry, but they're still creative. You can't keep us down.
No,
that's the thing. So, we're just we're kind of vomiting our creativity. That's a nice way of putting it, isn't it?
I think you could have used better phrasing than that. I think better phrasing than vomiting would probably go down pretty well.
Okay, we're expressing our creativity in other ways.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So the idea of this retrain, reboot thing, I don't know any artists who didn't have a side gig in the first place. Either being artistic was their side gig, or they always had a second job somewhere doing something. It's very few
Absolutely.
of them.
I agree with you. We have to be multifaceted because work as actors is always contracted. Unless you're going to do, well, even if you were to do a soap, if you do Coronation Street, there's still a contract. So work as an actor is never permanent. So it's not like having your 9 to 5, 6 days a week. We don't have that. When we can do that is when we have contracts like Phantom of the Opera, where you sign an 18-month, a long contract. But those are quite luxury contracts. So we always have to do other things, and I have done a plethora of other jobs outside of acting. I've had to, we've got to eat, we've got to pay our rent, so we have to find other ways. There's actually a joke, isn't there? If you want to become an actor, learn how to make coffee really well, because lots of people work in shops and as waiters or waitresses, or I've even done shoe shining. And I'm not ashamed to tell you that, because I'm so passionate about being a performer that actually I will do anything to sort of, well, not anything, but I'll do a lot of things. That was way back, by the way. It wasn't like last week. But, I have done many jobs: cleaning, shoe shining, retail work, answering the phones, call center stuff. I've done everything you could imagine to just get by in between jobs, because there's no shame in it. However, the reboot, retrain thing, I think is a different thing, because it's kind of an insult on our profession, which is a completely different argument. Not that, us doing jobs in between is an argument. It's a way of life. But I think that that's more of an insult. I think the retrain thing is kind of saying that what you're doing is not actually a real skill, or it's not important, and that's a different thing. So that's what kind of gets our backs up,
Yeah. There was a while ago in America, there was a thing called #LearnToCode, which was pretty much the same thing, but it was for miners their mines were getting closed down, or they were factory workers in like car factories and stuff like that. And people were just telling them, just learn to code, just change jobs and learn to code, because it's that easy to go from a manufacturing or artistic job and then just turn into a IT version. And then that just reminded me, those two things just reminded me of each other. But also, what is cyber? Like, what is cyber? Nobody in IT has. Have you ever had any?
You're asking the wrong person.
Exactly.
We had a conversation just before we went live about how untechnical I am. And I don't know what's this generic cyber thing. But the thing is, it's so far removed from what we do anyway. It's that I wouldn't want to segue into cyber, anything cyber. I'll do anything but, quite frankly. But I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. You tell me, Galina. I have no idea what that means.
I work in tech and I don't know what that means. I mean, that's how ridiculous the whole thing is. Like, there was no, I can't. I don't even know where to start. So Gaynell has actually come back and said she saw Glen Close at the ENO.
The ENO, that was it. Yes. That's the one I was talking about. So there was a wonderful Rhea Jones. That's her name. Got it. You got Sometimes my brain's a bit slow. But Rhea Jones, a wonderful actress, was understudying Glen and had to go on. But I think Gaynell probably saw Glen Close.
Yeah, amazing. So you are local.
I am.
Yay.
I'm a Southeast London girl. So, well, I'm not actually. I'm originally from Manchester, interestingly. But I've lived in London longer than I've lived in Manchester because I studied here from the age of 18. But yes, I am Southeast London. And funnily enough, I do a lot of my face painting in this local area when I was doing the face painting. So, there was kind of a bit of you're talking about your Upper Norwood Library Hub. There was a bit of a hub around here for face painting work. And I've lived here over 10 years now. Over 10 years. Mm-hmm. Didn't think that I'd stay in this area for over 10 years. And I kind of lived here way, way, way back. I lived East Dulwich area, actually. It was actually Peckham. Mm-hmm. But I used to call it East Dulwich. East Dulwich, Peckham area. One end of my road was Peckham, one end was East Dulwich. And then I moved and lived in other areas, but now I'm back Southeast London. And I really love it here because there are lots of actors, there are lots of creative people, and I just know where I'm at here. I know the area really well, and it's quite comforting to come back here when I've been working away.
Yeah, when we moved, when we bought a tiny box flat. Tiny box flat. It's probably about twice the size of the room I'm currently in, the entire flat. And this was the only place we could afford. So, like, we'd come down as musicians and stuff like that. But it was either here or Romford, and we weren't going to Romford, I can tell you that. But Crystal Palace in itself is awesome, but I just really like the old Victorian nature of everything, the way everything's kind of just been left to, I wouldn't say, it's not rot, it's not the right word, but just left the way it was 100 years ago with a lot of care and attention.
I love Crystal Palace for that as well. It's actually really cool, Crystal Palace, because you've got a mix, haven't you? Yeah. You've got all those lovely restaurants and cafes, and there's actually a really lovely one I go to, a Vietnamese one. Great food in there. I mean, I guess I'm not allowed to say names. But,
you can. Yeah, we support local businesses. You can say the name.
It's fine. I can't remember. Actually, I can't remember the name, but I tell you something. They do the great big sort of, I don't know whether you call them ramens in Vietnamese, but they are, well, I think it's the only Vietnamese restaurant there. So if you find it, enjoy it.
Yeah, so during lockdown, we were purposely spotlighting local businesses, so we'd have them on and we'd talk about all sorts of things, but they're all too busy working now to come on to our show, I think.
Oh, really? Well, maybe we need to help them then. Oh, well, like you say, if they're busy, they're busy. They don't need us, do they?
No, they don't. It's all good. Well, thank you, Francesca, for joining us. That has been super nice having a chat with you. I'm just going to run through our notifications, if I can remember them all. There's so many at the moment. First and foremost, I have to tell you that Captain Cauliflower is coming on to our show not on our show, but will be on our live stream channel on Sunday. Sunday. It's a 11:15. It is a paid show, but it is an interactive show. So basically what happens is Captain Cauliflower does his little performance thing, and he tells the kids on the Zoom chat, go and find something that's red, and then he waits until they all come on screen with a thing that's red, and then he talks to them saying, oh, that's a nice balloon or a nice dog or whatever it is. And it is worth it. It is £6.50 for the live stream. You can either watch it on our YouTube page, which you'll get a link to, or you can join the Zoom. So you don't have to join the Zoom if you don't want to. And it does support local artists. So if there is a good uptake for this, I'm just looking for the link so I can share it with you. If there's a good uptake for this, we will be doing more varied children's programming on a Sunday morning. So if it's something you want the library to provide, now is the time to get involved. Oh yeah. There's other things that I've not completely gone out of my head. What else are we doing? Oh, All Alone Together project. We talk about this every day. It's coming to an end very soon. If you live in any of the boroughs that surround Crystal Palace, I think there's like 4 or 5 of them, then you can come and do the All Alone Together podcast, which is Eleanor will interview you about your experience of COVID, and then we make a podcast out of that, and it'll be archived at the British Library. It's going to be in the library here itself, so folks can turn up later when things aren't as bad as they are now. They put on some headphones and they can listen to all these stories of people in the local area just having a natter about what has been going on with them. And we have 3 of them or 4 of them are going online today, and we'll be advertising that later on this afternoon on our website and all there. But if you want to take part, there's a very short survey on the website. I'm just going to link it into the comments now. And if you fill out the 4 questions of the survey, Eleanor will make contact with you if you want, and she will just interview you, much like we have been interviewing Francesca today, but a lot more deep and meaningful, because, it's your time to talk. Basically, your time to talk and tell us everything that's in your head. Regardless of how scary or funny or whatever that is, we want to hear it. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it there today. Thank you again, Francesca, for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So
Thank
nice
you.
to have you. We are back tomorrow. Eleanor will be online with us, and we hope to see you all tomorrow. Okay, see you later. Bye.
Bye.